Craig James was once one of the biggest names in American football. He formed a legendary college backfield with Eric Dickerson, became a Pro Bowl running back for the New England Patriots, played in a Super Bowl, and later reached millions of viewers as an ESPN broadcaster. But today, many football fans remember Craig James for an entirely different reason: the controversy surrounding Texas Tech coach Mike Leach. So how did a celebrated running back become one of college football's most polarizing figures? This is the complicated story of Craig James. Born in Jacksonville, Texas in 1961, Craig James emerged as an elite running back while attending Stratford High School near Houston, where he was a star running back on their 1978 Texas Class 4A championship football team, setting the single-season Texas 4A rushing record with 2,411 yards gained in 15 games. James also played on his high school baseball team and was offered a contract by the New York Yankees out of high school to play first base in the minor leagues, but chose to pursue a football career instead. Craig James was heavily recruited out of high school and decided to attend Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. James stated that he decided to go to SMU because his girlfriend at the time and future wife, Marilyn, was already a freshman student at the university. Parade's National High School Running Back of the Year, Eric Dickerson, as well as a large number of blue-chip recruits, also signed with SMU in 1979. The star running back tandem was known as the Pony Express, and the tandem would alternate possessions throughout their 4-year careers at SMU. In his freshman year in 1979, James proved more reliable than Dickerson, outgaining him 761 yards to 477, and was named the Southwest Conference's Offensive Newcomer of the Year. In the 1980 Holiday Bowl, later known as the Miracle Bowl, James ran for 225 rushing yards and 9.9 yards per carry in a losing effort, records that stood for 13 and 15 years respectively. Though the pair continued to alternate possessions at tailback, by 1982, Eric Dickerson had established himself as the feature back as he carried 232 times for 1,617 yards, while James carried 197 times for 938 yards. James took over punting duties midway through the season after the regular punter was injured and finished 6th in the nation in punting. Although Dickerson eventually became the more celebrated NFL star, James was an outstanding college player in his own right. He finished his SMU career with 3,743 rushing yards and earned first-team All-Southwest Conference recognition 3 times. However, the history of that era at SMU would later be overshadowed by the recruiting scandal that eventually led the NCAA to impose its so-called death penalty on the program in 1987. James had already left SMU years before that punishment was handed down. His recruitment and participation were not cited by the NCAA when it imposed those sanctions. In 2012, Craig James admitted to having received what he called an insignificant amount of improper gifts while playing at SMU. He has always denied that improper financial inducements had anything to do with his decision to attend SMU. After his senior season, Craig James was drafted by the Washington Federals of the USFL with the 4th overall pick in the Spring League's inaugural draft in 1983. James signed with the Federals for a series of 4 guaranteed 1-year deals. He stated that he decided to join the USFL rather than the NFL because of a desire to be a pioneer in a new league. Despite already having been signed to the Federals, the New England Patriots, who were coached by James's former SMU coach Ron Meyer, drafted the rights to James in the 7th round of the 1983 NFL Draft. James's first pro season in Washington saw the Federals struggle to a 4-10 record. He started all 14 games and rushed for 823 yards and 4 touchdowns, and caught 40 passes out of the backfield. The following year, James suffered a knee injury on March 4, 1984, in a home game against the Philadelphia Stars. He was placed on injured reserve later that week. James was released by the cash-strapped Federals a month later, allowing him to join the Patriots for their training camp in August. In James's first year with the Patriots in the 1984 season, he was initially a backup to Tony Collins under his old coach Meyer. When Meyer was fired after a 5-3 start to the season, new coach Raymond Berry made James the starting running back, and James finished the year as the Patriots' leading rusher with 790 yards. His breakout came during the 1985 NFL season. James rushed for 1,227 yards, scored 5 rushing touchdowns, and earned the only Pro Bowl selection of his career. His production helped New England make an unexpected postseason run. In the AFC Championship game, James rushed for 105 yards as the Patriots defeated the Miami Dolphins and advanced to Super Bowl 20. New England's season ended with a decisive loss to the Chicago Bears, whose legendary defense held James to just 1 rushing yard on 5 carries. Even so, the 1985 campaign established James as one of the NFL's most productive running backs that season. Unfortunately, injuries prevented him from maintaining that level of performance. Recurring shoulder problems limited James during the final years of his career. He retired after the 1988 season with 2,469 NFL rushing yards, 819 receiving yards, and 13 total offensive touchdowns. He was later selected to the New England Patriots All-1980s team. After leaving the field, Craig James successfully moved into sports broadcasting. He worked for several networks and eventually became a prominent college football analyst for ABC and ESPN. For a generation of fans, James was no longer primarily known as an SMU or Patriots running back. He was one of the familiar voices explaining college football on national television. But his broadcasting career became connected to a controversy involving his son, Adam James, and Texas Tech head coach Mike Leach. In 2009, Adam James was playing wide receiver at Texas Tech when he suffered a concussion. A dispute followed over how Mike Leach and the Texas Tech coaching staff treated Adam while he was unable to participate fully in practice. Mike Leach had allegedly forced Adam to stand in a shed for 2 hours during practice on 2 occasions. In response, Adam went to the university chancellor, Kent Hance, and members of the board of trustees with his accusations. In light of the allegations, ESPN removed Craig James from announcing the Alamo Bowl, replacing him with Bob Davie. In a lawsuit filed by Leach against Texas Tech, he alleges that Adam voluntarily placed himself into the electrical closet and apparently took pictures with his phone camera. Leach later filed suit against James and others for defamation and wrongful termination related to the publicity surrounding the incident. In August 2013, Leach's claims were dismissed on summary judgment. And obviously, Mike Leach was suspended and then later fired throughout this process. The conflict became one of the most bitter and heavily debated episodes in modern college football. To Leach's supporters, Craig James became a symbol of parental interference and media influence. Others argued that a father had every right to raise concerns about the treatment of a player recovering from a concussion. Because the principal figures offered sharply different versions of what happened, the controversy cannot be reduced to many of the slogans and jokes that later circulated online. But its effect on James's public image was undeniable. Craig James left ESPN in 2011 and entered the 2012 Republican primary for a United States Senate seat in Texas. Despite his recognition as a former football player and broadcaster, his campaign failed to gain significant support. He finished well behind the leading candidates in the primary. The campaign marked another major change in his public career, moving him from sports commentary into conservative politics and advocacy. So the question is, how should football history remember Craig James? As a player, his accomplishments are substantial. He helped form SMU's legendary Pony Express and transformed the program, rushed for more than 1,200 yards during a Pro Bowl season, and played an important role in the New England Patriots' first Super Bowl appearance. As a broadcaster, he remained a nationally recognizable figure long after his playing career ended. But the Mike Leach controversy fundamentally changed how many college football fans viewed him. For some, it overshadowed almost everything James had accomplished on the field. That tension is what makes Craig James' story so fascinating. It is the story of an elite Texas running back, an NFL Pro Bowler, a national broadcaster, a political candidate, and a man whose name became permanently linked to one of college football's most divisive disputes. Hey, what's going on, guys? I appreciate you tuning into another video. Now, Craig James, I remember him more as a broadcaster, to be totally honest with you. His heyday at SMU and in the NFL was right before I was born. But I do remember my father and a lot of his friends always talking about the Pony Express. And, you know, as I became a sports fan, getting older and older, the Pony Express was always referenced, back in the day. And I knew that Eric Dickerson was like the Batman, if you will, of the Pony Express. But I did not know that Craig James was Robin to his Batman. Okay, I didn't know who the other half of the Pony Express was, and I didn't really even know just how prolific as a team SMU was back during these 1980s to mid 80s. I never knew that. SMU now, they're kind of trying to, get back in the thick of things in the ACC and compete. But back in the day, apparently, they were the shit. And learning that he was the second half of the Pony Express was pretty cool. Like I say, I always learn something when I make these videos. And I thought he was a really good analyst for ESPN. Like I said, that's how I mostly remember him. I thought his takes were very good, and I agreed with a lot of the things that he said and a lot of his takes in regards to college football at the time. Now, a lot of people, a lot of celebrities or, former athletes, will try to dibble dabble into politics or whatever. He's a big conservative, which that's cool. And I guess he thought he could make a difference and it just didn't quite work out. But, he's he wears a lot of hats, you could say. Currently, he's a real estate developer in his home state of Texas. And he's a big family guy, spends a lot of time with them, and is active in his local community from what I researched. So that's good. And in regards to the whole Mike Leach stuff, man, oh man, that is a weird story. And I mean, if it was me and I had a son who is telling me and alleging that, he was placed in a shed, like basically solitary confinement for 2 hours during practice, yeah, I'm going to be raising some eyebrows at that too. So I don't know why a lot of people would, be questioning his reaction to these allegations. I think any father would have done the same thing. Now, did his media influence, contribute to Mike Leach getting fired? I mean, I don't know. To me, anytime you're a coach and you're being alleged of those type of allegations, I mean, unless you can really, without a shadow of a doubt, prove otherwise, I think you're going to get fired regardless. I mean, it's just a really crazy situation. I think his son Adam was pretty good too. He wasn't a bench warmer. He was playing and contributing. So, and I've never heard anything about Adam James and his career after that point. So, just a really weird, bad situation all around. I liked Mike Leach as a coach. I thought he was a great offensive mind, and I don't think he gets a lot of credit for the innovative air raid offense that he has kind of perfected over his career. So I will give Mike Leach his due on that. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think of Craig James. I'm sure a lot of you remember him as a member of the Pony Express in those SMU glory days. And shout out to you guys for your support. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and drop the names of any athletes you would like for me to discuss on this channel, because you already know we love to discuss the could've, should've, and would'ves from the sports world. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next upload. I'm your boy BC. Holla at your boy, baby.